So you feel like you've been sending your resume to a black hole, wondering if anyone even sees it. Or you've questioned maybe your name or your lack of Canadian experience is the reason why you're not getting callbacks. If you're an immigrant in Canada, this job hunting experience might sound all too familiar. But all of that is going to change in the next few minutes because in this video, I'm going to share 8 insider hacks that will completely turn your job search around. And trust me, the last hack is a must-see. It might just be the breakthrough you need to land your dream job. Ready to get unstuck? Let's dive in. Hi, if you're new to my channel, I'm Bella. I moved to Canada in 2019 from China. I've been in your shoes, ghosted, overlooked, second-guessing every job application. But I've also learned what actually works in Canada's job market today. This video is packed with proven strategies and insights I wish I had when I first started. If you find any part of it helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel so that my content can be pushed to more people in your situation. What we often hear is that immigrants are overqualified and underemployed. Sadly, that is the reality all of us are facing. But that is exactly why we need to understand what the current job market is like, especially for your profession. And here are a few free tools that can help you achieve that. First, you can dive into regional labor shortage through the Provincial Nominee program sites. They often list targeted occupations that are actively being recruited. If you have yet to move to Canada, factor this in when you're choosing your destination province. Whether or not your profession is on the provincial shortage list, make sure also to use the Job Bank's Trends Analysis tool. It will allow you to see the demand, wages, and job outlook for your specific profession across provinces. Last but not least, make a list of all your transferable skills because sometimes you might run into positions that are new to you but require the exact set of skills you already possess. And these positions should be on your radar as well. If job opportunities in your profession are scarce in your province, consider exploring alternative career paths where you can still apply your existing skills and expertise. Now, even if you know your job market, there's still another trap waiting, and they are ghost jobs. Some jobs were never meant to be filled. Companies use them to collect resumes or already hired somebody internally. Either way, you're wasting your time, energy, and confidence chasing something that's not even real. So how do we spot these jobs? Watch for vague descriptions or repeated postings with no updates or postings that have been up for more than 30 days. Or sometimes if you only see the posting on websites like Indeed, but not on the company's side, chances are those are ghost jobs. In other words, don't apply to everything. Be intentional. Look for ones that seem legitimate and actually match your strengths. That said, even if the job is real, your name alone might still get your resume ignored. Let's get into that next. So you send out dozens of resumes, and those job postings all seem legit, but no response. Eventually, you start to wonder, is it me, where I'm from, or the fact that I haven't studied or worked here before? Sadly, you're not wrong. Studies show that resumes with Anglo-sounding names are 40% more likely to be called back for a job interview than those with ethnic names. So, you're being unfairly filtered out before even entering the playground. There might be the assumption that you don't have strong English skills, or that your lack of Canadian experience makes it difficult for you to fit in. But here's what you can do to flip that script. Make your resume sound clear and confident. Use active language. If the job involves communication, make sure to highlight your language skills and people skills. If you're bilingual or multilingual, even better, especially for roles like admin, customer service, or healthcare. And don't hold back just because your experience is not Canadian. All the skills and expertise you've accumulated so far are transferable and a strong indication that you are a great fit for the job. If you've done any certifications or courses here, even short ones, make sure to include them because it shows you're being proactive and committed to growing here. And that short summary at the top of your resume is your first impression. Use it wisely. Later in Hack 6, we're going to talk about how face-to-face conversations can also help break some of these assumptions. But for now, just remember, you can absolutely stand out with a well-crafted resume, despite all the systemic biases against immigrant job applicants. Here's something that a lot of job seekers don't realize. Before a real person sees your resume, it has to go past a robot. Most companies use something called an ATS, applicant tracking system, to scan the resume before a recruiter sees it. If your resume doesn't contain the right keywords or formatting, it gets filtered out. No one even sees it. That's why even strong candidates get ghosted. It's not always about you. Sometimes it's just about the tech. So how do you get past the software filter so that you can impress the recruiter with your experience and expertise? Keep it simple. No fancy templates, no graphics, no picture. Use standard job titles, bullet points, and most importantly, mirror the exact language in the job postings, especially when it comes to skills, certifications, and software. There are some great free tools that you can use to help you check how well your resume matches a job posting. Tools like Job Scan, Skill Sensor, or Resume Worded. These tools break down where you're missing keywords or where your phrasing is a bit off. And make sure to upload your resume in Word or PDF format unless the posting tells you otherwise. Beating the bot gets your foot in the door, but what you say in your resume can still make or break it. In this next hack, you'll learn how to make your resume and cover letters so good that they can't ignore you. Employers can tell if you're just spraying resume everywhere. If it feels generic to them, it goes straight to the bin. And that is why specificity matters. The more tailored your resume and cover letter are, the more sincere and capable you appear. Don't just list what you did, show the impact when you can. Instead of saying managed schedules, try coordinated daily workflows for a 15-person team, cutting turnaround time by 20%. Same task, but with a result that matters. But for some experience, there's simply no impact to show. In those cases, try to focus on the skills required to complete that task. For example, if you worked as a cashier, instead of writing operated cash register, you could say handled high volume cash and card transactions with accuracy and strong customer service under pressure. You're showing attention to detail, multitasking, and communication, which are all transferable skills. Every bullet point on your resume should clearly reflect what the employer is looking for. Aim to match at least 80% of the requirements in the job posting. And here's a tip. List all your skills and experience in the same order as they're mentioned in the job description. It makes it super easy for the recruiter to compare your qualities and skills to what is required for that position. Now, here's a secret I was told by an HR during one of my job huntings. Sometimes when the job posting is vague or lack essential details, you should absolutely reach out to the recruiter or the HR contact to ask for a more detailed job description. It helps tailor your resume more effectively. And more importantly, it shows initiative. Most candidates won't bother doing that. And so you immediately stand out as someone who takes your extra step to be prepared. And I did get that job, by the way. One last thing, not all job postings ask for a cover letter, but unless they explicitly say not to include one, send it, because it's another space for you to show how well you communicate and how much you care about the role. Now that your resume and cover letter are sharp, let's get them into the right hands, because the best applications still go nowhere if no one sees them. Here's the thing. Most jobs don't even make it to the job boards. They're usually filled through referrals, personal connections, or someone simply being in the right place at the right time. So if all you're doing is applying online, you're missing out on a huge chunk of opportunities. And I get it, networking can be super uncomfortable, especially when you're new and you don't know anybody. But this isn't about cold calling strangers or asking for a job out of the blue. It's about making genuine connections online and offline. Start by cleaning up your LinkedIn profile. I know everyone says it, but it does make a difference. And when you reach out, don't ask for a job. Ask for advice. Ask about their journey. People usually love to share, and sometimes one conversation may lead to something completely unexpected. Offline, that's where magic happens. In bigger cities, local meetups, networking events are just everywhere. Immigrant support groups, community centers, professional associations, showing up at a volunteer event, seminar, or local library program can open doors for you that you didn't know existed. If you live in a small town like I do, just showing up to hand in your resume in person, visiting organizations or companies you're genuinely interested in can make a big difference. You're not just a name in an inbox anymore. You're someone they've met. And more importantly, it gives them a chance to hear you in person, to have a conversation with you, to see the language is not a barrier for you, despite what a resume alone might suggest. That's exactly how I landed my first job here. Even if they're not hiring at the moment, leaving a resume still shows interest and initiative. You never know when something might come up, and employers do notice that level of effort. Sometimes that eagerness matters just as much as experience. Okay, so you've put yourself out there, but waiting around to be called back for an interview can be really stressful and depressing. Are you just supposed to wait and do nothing? You'll know what to do with this next hack. When you're waiting to hear back from applications, don't just wait and do nothing. Use that time to gain something, skills, experience, or knowledge. Start by looking for small, meaningful ways to get involved. Are there any nonprofits that require some help? Is there a short-term internship or volunteer opportunity that you can jump into? Even offering a few hours a week can help you gain valuable Canadian experience. At the same time, don't stop learning. And that doesn't always mean going back to school full time. You can take an online course, attend a workshop, or simply spend time reading about your industry or a new one that would help you pivot. The more you learn, the taller you're going to stand, and the clearer your path ahead will become. And honestly, it helps mentally too. Focusing on growth can give you back a sense of control, and it is a powerful antidote to the stress and self-doubt that often come with job hunting. And no matter what job you land, if you want to keep growing your career into something meaningful, you'll need to keep learning, because that's how you build value and that's how you become irreplaceable. So you've done the research, you've polished your resume and cover letter, you've made the connections and kept on learning. But what if after all that, you still don't land a dream job right away? This next hack might be the most important of all, not because it helps you land a job really fast, but because it might change how you view the whole journey. And for many newcomers, this is the shift that changes everything. Let's talk about the power of in-between jobs and why they might be the hidden key to your dream career. Here's something that I wish more people said out loud. Your first job in Canada probably won't be a dream job, and that's okay. When I first arrived, I just wanted to get hired. Any job, any income, any stability. But what I didn't realize was how much these in-between jobs would actually teach me. You learn what kind of work energizes you, what drains you. You get the front row seat to Canadian work culture, how people communicate, how teams work, what is expected and what is not. You figure out what you need in a job beyond a paycheck, like respect, growth, or balance. And sometimes you go through a really bad experience, one that leaves you frustrated and disheartened. But even those jobs, especially those jobs, have something to teach you. Looking back, I can honestly say that every single job I've had in Canada revealed something new, a new career path, a new skill I acquired along the way, a new way of thinking about my future. It changed my perception of what was possible, and it opened up opportunities that I would have never seen if I hadn't stepped off the path I thought I should be on. So don't dismiss an opportunity just because it's not what you imagined. Take the job and take notes. What do you enjoy? What do you hate? And what surprised you the most? That awareness is how we go from getting hired to building a career. Because sometimes what looks like a detour is actually the path. So now you've got them. 8 powerful hacks that can completely change how you approach your job search in Canada. But here's the thing, these aren't just isolated tips. They form a mindset, a way to stay strategic, grounded, and hopeful through the ups and downs. Because it's not just about getting a job. It's about building a life that feels like yours. If this video helped you in any way, give it a like and hit the subscribe button. I'm building a series to help newcomers navigate life and work in Canada, and I'd love to have you along for the ride. Share your job hunting experience in the comments below and let me know what you'd like to learn more about in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.